Life is about belief, not because one is able, but because one has no choice. How could one not believe in themselves? That's like refusing to accept the unlimited fresh air that is bestowed all around us. It's like refusing to step on the ground that is beneath us. That's like refusing to believe the water that makes up 70% of our earth and 70% of our bodies. So it's blasphemous to not believe in oneself. It's inconducive to the success of life, the meaning of life, and what makes life. My goal is to hike one of the most strenuous and difficult hikes in the country, and that's San Jacinto, the Cactus to Clouds hike.
Cactus to Clouds is drawing new warnings this season, with hikers encountering snow and ice at higher elevations and conditions turning dangerous fast. Officials say this is not a hike for the average person and urge extreme caution for anyone considering the route.
It goes from desert to, alpine and snow, where it might become a little technical, especially in this time of year. It's like 21 miles, 10,000 feet elevation gains, actually the longest elevation in the country. People get airlifted often. It can be a little frightening. Things can take a turn for the worse at any moment. And so you just want to make sure that you're prepared and you're in control of everything that you can control so you can, accomplish your mission. So it's 6:30. We're about to climb Mount Baldy. This is Devil's Backbone Trail. It's like I think a 13-mile out and back loop. It's one of the premier hikes in California. You want to get your alpine, cold weather training. Get your experience. This is where you go to get it. There's usually always snow up here in the wintertime. So let's go. I work out pretty often. I do one of these hikes probably every other week, from 5 to 10 miles to 3,000, 4,000, 5,000 feet elevation gain with weight, with a pack. And so the way that I plan to train is just like how I live. I'm going to continue to keep climbing these mountains, to keep working out and stay diligent in my lifestyle. I was in this place in the Sierras a couple weeks ago, and it was kind of warm like this. We had shorts and stuff on, and I'm like, man, and I had snow pants with me, but the snow got up so high, the snow kept getting in my shoes. I was like, hell no. We had to turn around. I've done many of the hardest hikes in the country and some in the world. And I tend to downplay how extreme or how difficult things may be. Like last year I climbed Mount Whitney, and it's like the tallest mountain in the continental US. And it was one of the hardest things I've ever done, but I approached it as if it was like just another day where I'm climbing another mountain. I think once you tell yourself that it will have a great effect on you, and you've had such a great day or you've had such a great time or a great experience after this, sunrise, or after seeing this waterfall, after climbing this mountain, that you want to do it again. And you actually want to take the energy that you feel or that you can harness at that time and take it back into your everyday life, where you're having to deal with and troubleshoot problems and deal with, unruly customers or people, or sitting in traffic. And you understand that it's all a part of nature. And the best way to deal with it is to be in harmony with it.
That's it. Takes all that time to cook and it's gone in 60 seconds.
I think things like this bring clarity because it gives, perspective about what we are and where we come from and where we're going. And I'm speaking about life, death, and in between. Uh, Having to deal with, the fear of death. I see people wanting to run away from that or disassociate from it. And so these opportunities give me a chance to get the most out of life. Because I had always dealt with death. Like my next door neighbor got killed. Um, One of my homies' big brothers got killed. When that happened, it kind of changed up my whole outlook on life. Because what do you do with the pain? Sometimes nature just has a way of showing you how much you're not in control. And it puts the human capacity to the test. And to see what we're made of and dig deep and find our core of who we are, and then find yourself. You can take a deep breath and just listen and observe. So my lifestyle is basically I do a lot of like visualization in the morning. I do a lot of writing. I do a lot of reading, and then I work out, running, pull-ups, push-ups, sit-ups, and then maybe a little bit of squats or lunges, and then maybe some bench press. But that's the most. I really don't do any weights like that. I try to stay calisthenics. Yeah, and I just go on. I go on hikes pretty often, where I stay kind of regulated and stay, you know, it's normal. It's every day for me. I downplay it a little bit because it's like it's just another mountain. My very first hike was in the military, and it was with like 400 or 500 other dudes, and it was a conditioning hike for the next hike we were going to do and the next hike we were going to do, and it was about 4 or 5 miles. And since then, I probably hiked more than 42,000 miles maybe, and so I learned to enjoy it. At first it was sucked, at first it was strenuous, and I didn't know if I was going to be able to make it. But then I was able to condition and program myself to say, yeah, I'll be all right. I think the most significant one was when I was, going through a transition, and where I dedicated my life to health and wellness was in Japan, to Tadaki Falls in Okinawa, to be specific. A light bulb went off. I thought about what I can bring back to my community. And I had already been living healthy. I'd already been writing my thoughts down. I had already been reading and meditating. I'd already been connected with nature. And I said, wow, if I can do this after everything that I've been through, this is something that I can bring back to my community and share it. And that was the moment I started my company, Trust Fund.